That's in like every commencement speech.
That's
this is the first day of the rest
That's
of
a fact. That's just an easy fact that someone's come up with.
Because it sounds though so big and so grand, like it means something. But it's
Unless
like,
you
isn't
die-
today
unless you
the first day of the rest of my life?
Yes, unless you die that day, and then it's the last day
Of the rest of your life.
of the rest of your life, or just the last day of your life.
This one, we've got the ghost pepper and blueberry sauce. It turns the wings blue. We had 1,001 questions about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but we don't have time for that. So what I want to do is kind of rapid fire It's Always Sunny questions at you, and you just keep it going. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
What is the official catchphrase of choice that fans scream at you in the airport?
Kitten mittens.
Speaking of kitten mittens and the dick towel and all these great products that you guys have on the show, have you ever been approached by some sort of Mark Cuban like shark who wants to take some of these ideas to market, even if it's just some sort of novelty item?
We sold the dick towels for a little bit ourselves.
Did it make money?
A little bit of money. We went to FX, because usually anything that is sold off the show, they're going to make the money. Because that's
how
business corporations work. But they didn't want to sell towels with big and tiny penises on them. Yeah, and so we had no problem with that. And we made a little bit of money, and then it tapered off. I think there's a shelf for like
for dick
for how many people want to buy those.
How much alcohol is actually consumed on set?
Not really. I mean, there's been a couple times where earlier when we were making the show where we're like, it's the last day of shooting. Let's have some drinks, but it's a long day. You got a lot of work to do.
Of all the songs that you've written for the show, which one are you most proud of?
People go nuts. I'm okay, by the way. This is weird. This is where it's gonna get bad. I shouldn't have said that. Because I got Zombie Apocalypse and The Bomb, Mad Dog, and then Megadeth, which is dumb.
Are you ready to go into Zombie Apocalypse?
Yes. Season 3 of eating and hot sauce. Oh yeah.
This is where it escalates. The internet seems fascinated by the early roles that you had before you were in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, whether it's a Law and Order episode or it's a Thomas's Bagels commercial.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
Which do you think was the most underrated performance?
There's one that is not on there. It's a good story. My agent at the time called me and said, hey, Austin Pendleton's doing this thing, and another guy named Victor Argo, who's in these Scorsese movies, is also in it. And there's a part for like a young guy at a bar. It's like 3 lines, go audition. So I go audition, I get the part. Super excited, it's like my first, maybe my second acting job. The part is me and my buddy having some kind of conversation about sex or something. And Victor Argo's overhearing it, and he's depressed because he doesn't have sex anymore, whatever. Now I never see it, I never find it. Well, it shows up on my IMDb as Erotic Tales 4. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? It's like softcore porn. And
oh my
it has since also disappeared off my IMDb. I didn't put it on, I didn't take it off. So I don't know what happened. So I think it's my most underrated performance because no one has seen it or rated it. But out there somewhere in the world is
Charlie Day and
I'm in Erotic Tales 4. So comes on. Oh, there it is.
You feel it build, and then it kind of like pops like a balloon.
All right, cool. Well, that's enough of that. Yay! Welcome to the show. So, today we are going to read a bunch of Reddit and play a bunch of RuneScape. And then I'm going to go to the gym. And then we'll edit this. So, first though, I'm going to cancel this task because this task is butt cheeks. Cancel task. Confirm. Assignment. Mutated zygomites. What the fuck? Hold on. Mutated zygomites. Oh shit, hold on. I gotta put on. So this is news and politics. This is gaming, I guess. And then this is RuneScape. Alright. Cool, got that updated. Alright, mutated Zygamite. 57 Slayer, what the fuck? Alright. I'm not gonna do that task either. 170 elves. Alright, I could do that. We could do that. Fuck. Oh, man, I gotta fucking not cancel tasks as much. Alright, bank. Go this guy. Alright, so we're gonna need a cannon. I can keep most of this crap in here. Empty my gem bag from that last thing. Empty my herb bag. Empty my rune pouch. Deposit, deposit, deposit. Alright, I'm happy with combats. I just need now my cannon. And then we're gonna get an elf camp teleport. Oh, let me go. Feldip, Narda, elf camp. Here we go. And then a couple more of these. And then I'm pretty sure they do bones to peaches. But whatever. Alright, cool. Teleport. Alright. So now that we got our Slayer task going, basically we're going to just read Reddit. I've got the Reddit going. You can see it on the side. So I was going to see if I wanted to go to one of those, but instead we're just going to go to this. Alright. Elf camp. Time to murder all these dudes. Alright, I think I'm going to set up the cannon right here. That looks like a good spot. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so now I just set this guy. He's on auto attack. Boopity boop, got my shit. Alright, so let's see, what do we have on Reddit? We've got Donald Trump threatens to shut down NBC and other TV news networks that criticize him. FCC's claim that one ISP counts as competition faces scrutiny in court. Good. Google will hit 100% renewable energy this year. The company is primarily powered by wind and solar energy. Engineers have identified key flight patterns of the albatross, which can fly up to 500 miles a day with just occasional flaps of wings. Their findings may greater inform design of wind-propelled drones and gliders. Cool. Sex with a minor wife is to be considered rape in India. Hollywood's culture of systematic abuse. Oh my god, 6-pound tumor gets a second chance at life. I gotta see what that fucking looks like. Yo, fuck off, drunken dwarf. I don't care. Alright, attack elf warrior. Where's the picture of this thing? Come on, where's the picture of it? Ugh. Man, I wanted it. If they really wanted people to donate, they would have shown a picture of the big-ass tumor. Alright. But, so, let's look at this one. Donald Trump one's good. FCC one's good. Google one's good. Don't really want to talk about either one of those ones. Don't really want to talk about Tucker Carlson. Deputies Googled how to rank, then robbed a bank. Oh my god. Jeff Sessions consulted Christian legal rights group on religious freedom memo. California have for pronoun violations and for spreading HIV. Israel hacked Carspeed and tipped NSA that its tools have been breached. Ooh, Hillary for prison. I like it. Oh my god. Alright, alright, let's see. Alright, let's go with this one. Alright, cool. So we've got all of our Reddit pages that we're going to look at. So what we'll do is we'll check a quick little bit on the comments, just see what the top opening comments are and stuff, and then they're probably terrible. And so then we're just going to click on the thing, take a look at that, and then meanwhile, I'm just going to be clicking this same spot on the bottom, and then occasionally clicking the spot on the top. And this is the life of RuneScape. Alright, because right now, you can see my little circle. I am 641 alks away from 83 magic. Yay. Oh, what the heck? What is this guy doing? Is he here to kill everything? Or no, he's doing the quest. Okay. I was going to say, if this dude's here to just fucking steal all the kills, man, that would be just not cool. I actually, I want to see if I can set this up in a different spot, actually. So let me just eat this, pick this up, and put this here. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Alright, much better. Alright, and now I can just sit in here. Perfect. Okay, so why are people mad about USA not qualifying for the World Cup? I mean, why are they mad or disappointed that the U.S. team didn't qualify, but specifically something they seem to be mad at the team or management? What's happening? Alright. Bottom line is that U.S. performed horribly in one of the easiest regions in the world. There was no corruption or bad behavior involved, just bad results. The first missed World Cup since 1986, but that's quite enough to make the U.S. soccer fans furious with everybody involved. Well, yeah, this is a shame. I'm just disappointed. Americans' 4-year tradition of getting really hyped up for soccer for about a month, dude, nothing will be happening. Yeah, right? Like, oh, man. Just everyone gotta get real hype about soccer for a total of fucking real hype for a total of a fucking month, and then everyone forgets. Then everybody goes back to thinking football or soccer, is that the one with the oval? Like, that's what I imagine. Here we go, boom, sitting here because I don't want those elf fucks attacking me. But whatever, soccer. Get us a little bit of a smoother start because now we're gonna jump straight into talking about Trump, which but let's see what he says because I don't want to read the comments yet. Donald Trump threatens to shut down NBC and other two networks that criticize him. Oh, all right. So Donald Trump has threatened to shut down NBC and other American networks, saying that they peddle fake news. With all of the fake news coming out of NBC and the networks, at what point is it appropriate to challenge their license? Bad for country, Mr. Trump wrote in a tweet. Mr. Trump's tweet came in response to a story written by NBC, which said that Mr. Trump had sought to increase America's nuclear arsenal tenfold after taking a look at a briefing slide that showed steady reduction of the U.S. nuclear arsenal since the 1960s. The story cited 3 officials who were reportedly in the room with Trump when he made the comments. So, let's click my Canon and then click on this guy. So, the president has regularly targeted a news network. Oh, sorry. Fake NBC News made up a story that wanted a tenfold increase in our nuclear arsenal. Pure fiction made up to demean. NBC equals CNN. I really thought he was trying to say something else with that demean thing. Because he made the space between made up and stuff. So I was like, did he mean to say that or not? You never know with Trump. That's the worst part. So, the president has regularly targeted news networks critical of him since January. When he gave a press conference as president-elect and shut down a CNN reporter as fake news, the term which Mr. Trump says he invented but had been frequently used before to describe the proliferation of stories written by anonymous bloggers to spread lies during the 2016 election, has since become one of his go-to insults when the media publishes critical coverage of the Trump administration. So, definitely iconic. I mean, even at school, just fucking around, we'd just be like fake news. It's a pretty good insult. It's got a lot of, I mean, it's stupid, but it's really it gets on people's nerves. It really does get on people's nerves. So, the report about Mr. Trump's nuclear arsenal said that the Joint Chiefs of Staff and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson all pushed back on the nuclear ambitions, and that Mr. Tillerson later called the president a moron following the meeting. Mr. Tillerson last week refused to confirm that he had called the president that, and Mr. Trump had said that those reports are fake news. During an interview, the president also said he would have to compare IQ scores with Mr. Tillerson if his secretary had actually made the remarks. Oh my God. How Oh my god. Like, taking a quick pause from this real quick. Intelligence quotient is such bullshit. And it's just like, using that as like, oh, I've got a high IQ, so I'm a fucking genius. It's like, I mean, okay, I can't, like, say you're not, like, smarter than me, but I mean, like, it's not like, you know, it's not like everybody in the world could just be, you know, fucking everyone's head can just be like, oh, you're number 3 and you're number 2, therefore you're fucking better, whatever. And it's just like, it's like, if you really think it can just be simplified down to that one number, and then that's like, oh, I'm obviously not stupid because I have fucking IQ of 200. There's no fucking way I could be fucking stupid. I mean, well, maybe you might be. So anyway, it isn't clear that Mr. Trump said he would be able to easily revoke broadcast internet license for any of the major networks simply because he disagrees with the content they air. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, which oversees licensing, is an independent agency in the federal government and isn't required to follow orders directly from the White House as would branches of the executive, like the Department of Justice. While the commissioners of the FCC are appointed by the President and then approved by the Senate, the agency's relative independence is there by design to push back on situations where someone in the executive branch would attempt to dampen free speech protections provided to licensed broadcasters. Scroll down. I mean, this is all making sense right now. They don't want, you know, fucking people to shut down fucking the news, so they have little provisions that say, hey, you're not allowed to fucking shut down the news because they speak the truth about you being a fuckhead. Anyway, Mr. Trump's comments came just one day after an American reporter was sentenced to prison in a Turkish court where she was convicted of terrorist propaganda charges. That imprisonment was widely seen as highlighting the increased targeting of journalists in that country, which has been scrutinized for President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's government crackdown on media freedoms. Responding to Trump's musing about revoking licenses for broadcast networks critical of him, former U.S. federal prosecutor and frequent Trump critic Preet Bharara called the president childish. Adult daycare shift alert, Mr. Bharara tweeted. Please report for duty. Man, I like this guy. It was immediately clear if Trump intended to threaten cable news networks as well, which are regulated differently than their broadcast counterparts. So, I love how at the very end of this article, this whole article is called Donald Trump threatens to shut down blah, 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 blah. And at the very end of the article, at the very, very bottom, it says, hold on, we're getting there. But we're not sure. And it's like a little bit of a clickbaiterino title, if you ask me, no? I mean, literally just fucking clickbait. Like at the very end, oh my god. Come on, fucking independent.co.uk. You're talking about journalism and shit, and meanwhile you're just fucking clickbaiting the fuck out of us. You son of a bitch. Alright, but let's go check out the comments now and see what these guys think, because, you know, sometimes we get some good stuff from the peanut gallery. So, looks like he's pissed at NBC for breaking the story that Trump wanted tenfold the nukes of Tillerson. So it must be true then. Alright, so they just take that away on something that I don't want to read. So let's see if there's another one. Direct link to tweet. This is frightening, and I don't know how we stop it. Trump supporters will cheer on to stick it to the lamestream media, but this is what authoritarianism looks like. I just don't recognize my country anymore. So, with all the fake news coming out of NBC and the networks, at what point is it appropriate to challenge their license? Bad for country. So, let's see. He edited it after 1 million people commented. So, let's see what his edit said. As it's been pointed out a few times below, and I think most of us realize, it's obviously not as easy to shut down these networks as Trump appears to think. The sentiment behind his tweet, however, is still just as terrible and shouldn't be ignored just because it's improbable, especially because it's coming from the bully pulpit. Trump is mainstreaming fascist ideas, and while they may not likely to be accomplished, those ideas are propagating throughout certain circles of our society. Unchecked, who knows where it could lead. So, that's the last comment I'm going to read about this, because I don't want to go too deep into the comments. But something I wanted to talk about is this whole like idea of like Trump being fascist, because the smartest person, or at least I'd probably say the smartest person, if I'd say top 5 smartest people I've ever like met ever, is a history teacher at my college, right? And he has taught history for 50-something years now. He's like 80-something. He literally started teaching when he was 20. Like, he's like over 50 years now, probably. Like, he's really smart fucking guy. Like, he's done nothing but teach history for 50 years. Like, he knows this shit. Like, he could repeat this shit, no textbook by now. You know, he could teach an entire course from memory. Like, this man knows more about history than anyone I've ever met ever in the history of ever. And I actually have it. I gotta get it off I need to get it off my computer. He did a little forum thing at my college, and he said very, very, very adamantly that Trump is not a fascist, and that these things that these guys are talking about are just, you know, fake news. And he is a Republican, but he said he's a Republican who puts America first or something. Like, he's conservative in nature, so he, like, I'm pretty sure he voted for Trump, I think. Like, but he, like, you know, at the end of the day, he's not Trump, he's not a friend of Trump. He's just, he wants to do the best for America. So when he says that Trump's not being a fascist, he's not taking shots at you guys who think that Trump's a fascist. He's not like defending Trump from you guys saying that. It's just his fucking 50 years of history, his 50 years of knowledge on this subject, and it's his professional fucking historical fucking opinion that this is like bullshit. And with someone like him, someone as smart as him, if he says something like that, I fucking believe it, because like he really, like, he's just that fucking smart. So I need to double check with him and see if he still holds that up. But that's all these comments about like Trump pushing fascist stuff and all this other stuff. I think that's just pretty stupid. I mean, as you know, as much as you'd love to compare Trump to Hitler, and people are like, oh, well, Hitler loved Germany, that's why he did all this. So Trump just like loves America so much, he's like, dude, the same shit, whatever. It's like, Trump is like nowhere near Hitler. I mean, that's such a gross overstatement, and it's just got no real like basis. I mean, Trump is he's a New Yorker, he's an American. Like, he's not, if you think that Trump is out there to like take over the world and shit, like, you know, he's really, I mean, if anything, he's just here to fuck up America, you know? He's just gonna like fuck up America and like ruin it for all of us in here. But he's not trying to be dictator of the world. He's not doing all this crazy shit out there. Like, oh, you might be like, oh, he's trying to nuke and all this other stuff. But I mean, like, nuke who? Nuke North Korea. I mean, but that's really it. I mean, I guess Iraq, Iran, whoever else. But, you know, a big one that we see on the news all the time is North Korea, and it's like, all right, so he wants to fucking take out a dictator that, you know, like, is against America and shit. It's like, I mean, it's not like he's doing any of this stuff because he hates America, you know? It's not like he's trying to ruin America. Like, it might be fascist and shit, but he's not trying to take over America. Like, he just wants to make money. Like, you know, it's depressing saying that, but, you know, that's what it comes down to. These guys aren't in it to destroy America. They just want to make a shitload of money and do nothing with it, and then, like, die and then give it to their kids. Which I'm like, really, I'm amazed any of these guys have kids. I mean, I'd be amazed if they had wives. I mean, if they have wives, I'm curious the age difference. Just like some fucking girl that he just keeps around. No. Alright. Enough of that one. Let's read the next one. FCC's claim that one ISP counts as competition faced scrutiny in court. So let's read the the first few comments real quick before we get into it, because they usually have some pretty good stuff. So, yeah, it's hard to compete against no internet when you have one internet. With only one ISP, you still have two choices. So let's see Hobson's choice. What's this? Taking it or taking nothing. Take it or leave it. Oh. Okay, but still, so you only have one choice, but he makes it into two because he's using it as just like asshole. All right, Hobson's choice. That's good to know, because you only have one choice. You either get it or you don't. But then he takes that and he turns it into your choice. Like, oh, well, you're the one that left it. It was your decision. And it's like, bro, you only gave me one option. He's like, no, I gave you two. You can either take it or leave it. And it's like, that's not really what that doesn't count. So, cool. It's nice to know that. You learn something new every day. And I'm getting fucking mad RuneScape experience, baby. Alright. I gotta zoom out a little bit of this one. Alright. Because if I can't read it, I can't read it to you guys. Alright, so. A FCC decision to eliminate price caps imposed on some business broadband providers should be struck down, advocacy groups told federal judges last week. The FCC failed to justify its claim that a market can be competitive even when there is only one internet provider. Led by Chairman Ajit Pai, the FCC Republican majority voted in April of this year to eliminate price caps in a county if 50% of its potential customers are within a half a mile of a location served by a competitive provider. That means business customers with just one choice are often considered to be located in a competitive market and thus no longer benefit from price controls. The decision affects big business or business data services, a dedicated point-to-point, blah, 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 like AT&T, Verizon, and CenturyLink. Great. But the FCC's claim that potential competition can rein in prices even in the absence of competition doesn't stand up to legal scrutiny, critics of the order say. In 2016, after more than 10 years of examining the highly concentrated business data services market, the FCC was poised to rein in anti-competitive pricing in the BDS market to provide enterprise customers, government agencies, schools, libraries, and hospitals with much-needed relief from monopoly rates, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. So, but Republicans gained the majority of the FCC in 2017. The commission illegally reversed course without proper notice and further deregulated the BDS market, leaving consumers at risk of paying up to $20 billion a year in excess charges from monopolistic pricing. So, I mean, this is it. This is fucking the end of the world, guys. This is literally like fucking them. Like, can you imagine $20 billion for nothing? I mean, they're doing nothing. It's not like they're increasing the speed of the internet. It's not that like they're doing anything for us. They're literally, all of this shit's just taking our fucking money. That's all it is. Like, they're not helping us at all. They're just slowing down the fucking internet and taking our money. Like, I mean, God, it's fucking disgusting. All right. So here we go. Feeble attempt to overcome evidence. So this is what the FCC's justification is. Let me just eat another food. All right, cool. So the FCC's new competitive market test was carefully tailored to yield the desired result of unwinding the long-standing price cap regulatory regime. So under the potential duopoly test, a market will be considered suitably likely to enjoy the benefits and competitive entry at some undetermined time in the future. The Commission freely acknowledges that as a result of removing regulatory constraints on prices, consumers may suffer for some undetermined period with unjust and unreasonable prices. But the Commission rationalizes this abandonment of its core responsibility under the statute to prevent unjust and unreasonable rates on the grounds that competition will eventually blossom. So this is a briefing. I don't think the FCC Let's keep reading. The FCC made a feeble attempt to overcome evidence that duopolies are not competitive, the brief said. So the order cites studies analyzing 3-firm and 4-firm markets, but the order fails to explain how its analysis is relevant to the 1-firm and 2-firm markets the Commission embraces as sufficiently competitive. Curiously, the FCC also relies on a study involving ready-mix concrete for the proposition that the addition of competitors beyond a second has diminishing returns. Ready concrete? Are you kidding me? Despite its decision, the FCC acknowledged limits to its positive effects from potential competitors. The FCC explicitly states that potential duopoly competition cannot reasonably be expected to constrain price increases in the short term, but only in the immediate term, i.e. several years. The FCC also claimed in its order that the costs of regulation likely outweigh the extra costs paid by consumers when dominant carriers can exercise market power in absence of regulation. So they obviously cherry-picked the shit out of that. I mean, like, literally, there's, like, those 3 dots mean that they skipped a few words. Like, that's what, like, the 3 dots mean. So they cherry-picked the fuck out of that, but I'm curious what the full thing was, because doesn't really sound that promising. All right. The FCC also claimed in its order that the cost of regulation... Oh, yeah, hold on. Sorry. The FCC's new market test is thus apparently meaningless, since the Commission argues that deregulation is appropriate regardless of whether a market has competition. So, let's see. All right, so the FCC was sued by purchasers of BDS such as Sprint and Windstream, who could end up paying higher prices because of the FCC decision. The FCC was also sued by some providers of BDS, including CenturyLink and a subsidiary of Frontier Communications. CenturyLink and Frontier challenged another part of the order that requires what they call excessive annual rate reductions in areas where price caps will continue to be enforced. The price reductions are intended to reflect productivity gains experienced by the regulatory entities over time, but the FCC's required reductions significantly overstated efficiencies in the provisions of rate-regulated BDS offerings and ignored evidence of slower productivity growth among such services relative to others. The lawsuits were consolidated into a single case. A motion for a stay of the order pending judicial review was denied, allowing the FCC changes to take effect on schedule. Great. You'd think that with this suit big enough for all these other people to join, and big enough for, I mean, because I used to use Frontier. Like, they're a fairly sizable, like, little service. Like, you know, and CenturyLink and Sprint, those are, I don't use CenturyLink, but Sprint's like a pretty fucking well-known like company, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure Sprint I'm pretty sure Sprint fucking like has, you know, weight behind its name. So it's like all these people suing, and yet that's not enough to warrant, you know, maybe, hey guys, maybe you should wait for us to fucking take a look at this. Nah, we're just gonna go ahead and do this. The FCC hasn't filed a response to public knowledge brief yet, but the Commission defended its decision in a filing in July. The FCC said that it reasonably considered the presence of nearby competitors and concluded that BDS providers are commonly willing to extend their existing network out approximately a half-mile to meet demand. The FCC's order also reasonably concluded that the presence of 2 providers imposes competitive discipline. But Public Knowledge, CFA, and New Networks argued that the FCC order should be overturned because it is arbitrary and capricious, departs from the FCC's past precedents without justification, and reached a conclusion that is contradicted by evidence in the BDS docket. So let's see, this is the order. So, all right. Jesus Christ, this thing is huge. 195 pages. So, let's read a little bit of this. Oh, sorry, let me zoom in. All right, so After more than 10 years of studying the business data services market, numerous requests for comment, and a massive data collection, we at long last recognize the intense competition present in this market and adjust our regulatory structure accordingly. The record in this proceeding demonstrates substantial and growing competition in the provision of business data services in areas served by incumbent local exchange characters subject to price cap regulation. By adopting a framework which accounts for these dynamic, competitive realities, we will create a regulatory environment that promotes long-term innovation and investment by incumbent and competitive providers alike, which well serves business data service customers. So, basically, BDS is the internet. You know, we like business data service customers. That's us. Like internet service buyers. That's us. So let me click my Canon. All right, so let me just do a quick second, because if I use this thing, yeah, suck that health. Oh, nope, didn't kill him. Suck that health. Wow, really? That hit for 2 zeros? Wow, that's cool, I guess. All right, the record indicates the market for business data services is dynamic, with a large number of firms building fiber and competing for this business. The 2015 collection identified 491 facility-based companies providing business data services in the enterprise market. Competitive LECs such as Zayo and Birch continue to invest and expand their competitive fiber networks with very successful results. The competitive LECs earned $23 billion of the $45 billion in business data services revenue in 2013. Yeah, because we want a competitive fucking market, and if you can't keep up with the fucking competition, they're going to take your fucking customers. The fucking solution isn't to change the laws because you're in fucking charge. The change is to maybe provide a better service to fucking compete against this, instead of changing the fucking laws because you happen to be in fucking charge, or you're gonna get like I wonder how much he's a sellout. What's his fucking number? I'm so curious what his fucking number is. Piece of shit, Agit Pie. Fuck you. If you're listening, fuck you, piece of shit. All right. So anyway, cable providers have also emerged as formidable competitors in this environment. Cable business data services have reportedly grown approximately 20% annually for the past several years, and increasingly they have emphasized internet access and managed services, which compete directly with the products being offered by the incumbent and other competitive LECs. Although incumbent LECs once dominated the business data services market selling blah, 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 such technology is becoming obsolete. Significant increases in bandwidth demand are being driven by bandwidth-hungry applications, mainly video services, as well as web and cloud-based services. These rapidly increasing bandwidth demands will place an ever-increasing demand for services such as Ethernet, especially over fiber, which can scale bandwidth to meet these requirements more effectively than can the old legacy services. Packet-based services, which include Ethernet, make up a large part of business data services marketplace. In 2013, more than 40% of that were for packet-based services. Based on provider and analysis forecasts, we expect this to shift from a circuit-based to packet-based services at a rapid pace. So at least they realize that, yeah, people are just going to start paying for internet instead of buying TV and shit, because why would you do all that when you could just fucking get Netflix? Like, why would you deal with all the bullshit that comes with mainstream media, all that horse shit, when you can just fucking watch Netflix instead? All right. Against this competitive backdrop, we now move away from the traditional model of intrusive pricing regulation for incumbent LECs, recognizing that ex-ante pricing regulation is of limited use and often harmful in a dynamic and increasingly competitive marketplace. Indeed, there is a significant likelihood ex-ante pricing will inhibit growth and investment in many cases. In such circumstances, we should not continue unnecessary regulations, but much less extend them to new service or providers. Instead, we adopt a framework based around our market analysis and a careful balancing of costs and benefits of ex-ante price regulation that deregulates counties where the provision of price cap and incumbent LEC's business data is deemed sufficiently competitive. So basically, they want to remove the cap on Verizon and and Spectrum and whatever other big guys are on top of it. So they want to remove that so that they can beat out the competition of these smaller guys, which they're going to do by just undercutting them, and then you're going to get less for your internet. God. All right. So let's get to the end, see what the official order, the end of it says, once I figure out where my mouse cursor is, because I want to see how close I am. 13K. Nice. All right. So this report and order therefore provides a new framework for business data services that minimizes unnecessary government intervention and allows market forces to continue working to spur entry, innovation, and competition. Our decisions stem from careful consideration of the data submitted in the proceeding and the thoughtful comments and ex parte communications submitted onto the record. Our thinking on how to evaluate competition and design pricing regulation evolved as we engaged with economists, advocates, and others to develop an administratable approach to deregulate in areas where competitive forces are able to ensure just and reasonable rates. To a large extent, in the business data service markets, the competition envisioned in the Telecommunications Act of 1996 has been realized, and this order is an important step in updating our rules to adequately reflect such market developments. We reach these conclusions aware of the increased investment in facilities and service deployment that has occurred in response to similarly deregulatory action by the Commission in tandem with adoption of this new, more appropriate framework designed. To maximize competition and investment in business data services, we are also taking further steps to decrease the cost of deploying our nation's broadband infrastructure. Whew, Christ. That was a fucking read and a half. Holy moly. All right. So now, let's try and take all this, put it into context. So, they are saying that because these... They're saying because these small internet service providing companies are flourishing, because these companies make money off of the fact that people just want internet as opposed to cable, phone, everything, because you have your cell phone, which is your phone, and then you have your computer, which has Netflix and stuff, and then that's it, and that's all you need, so they make money off of selling reliable, good internet to these people at good prices, and that's why it's competitive, and that's why they take money away from Verizon. Because really, the big thing is, why would you want to pay for Verizon's cell phone, phone, everything, when you could just pay cheaper, just get what you want, and still be able to watch Netflix and everything? Because again, you just need access to the internet to watch Netflix. You don't need to buy special packages or any bullshit now, which is going to change if all of this happens. But these guys, I'm stretching my hips. If you're wondering why I'm leaning back a bit, I'm stretching my hips, and it's so nice. Fuck, forgot where I was going. But so their solution to this is to change the title of the internet, so that way they get to charge more money when people use Netflix and shit, as opposed to just charging them the flat rate for entering the internet. And then they're driving out the small businesses that are making money off of just competition by getting rid of the price caps, which means that now Verizon and all these other guys will be able to charge, you know, however much they want. And it's like, oh, well, guys, I mean, it doesn't matter if we could charge you like $10,000 a month. You guys have competition. You guys will be able to keep up. I mean, you could just go to these other guys. And it's like, but all of their other regulations are fucking making it harder for those guys to succeed and flourish. Like, so, and all, it's just a shame. It's just a goddamn shame. And it's happening right under our nose. And no one cares. All right. So let's see what this one's about. Google. I like talking about Google because, I mean, they're a pretty fucking big business. Oh, excuse me. If you haven't fucking stepped outside your house recently, Google's a pretty big fucking company, and the fact that they are going 100% renewable, that gets me a little fucking hard because it's about goddamn time. And having a company 100% renewable that makes that much money, I mean, so what's your excuse, you know? Oh, Google's losing money by being 100% profitable. It's like, really? Yeah, really? They're losing money? Yeah, I'm waiting for them to go into the ground any day now. Waiting for them to fucking go bankrupt because of renewable energy any day now. Still waiting. And, you know, guess what? It's never going to happen. And they're going to just continue to make even more money off of it. So, let's see what it says. So, Google has announced that after 10 years, a carbon neutral company, it will be able to brag on running on entirely renewable energy at the end of 2017. That means that all of the electricity the company consumes in both its data centers and offices are provided by wind and solar energy. As exciting as this milestone is, it hardly comes as a surprise. The company first announced its intention to hit this milestone last year. It was at this point it also first claimed that it is the largest corporate purchaser of renewable energy in the world. Announced in 2017 in Google's 2017 environmental report, Google says it has created a new energy purchasing models that others can follow, and that we've helped drive now wide-scale global adoption of clean energy. In addition to being an obvious PR boon, the company says its mission of full sustainability fits in with its larger mission. Cool. I'm happy. I'm happy that Google's taking a leading role, because I mean, if you're fucking Google, like, you know, it's just like, I mean, you have a verb now. Like, you're a fucking verb. It's a noun, it's a verb, it's an adjective. It's fucking Google, man. So good for you guys for being, you know, a good fucking example, because Lord knows we need some more good examples. Let's see. Zero waste landfill. That's gonna be nice too. Yeah, nice. All right, deputies. Pinello Park man Googled how to rob a bank, then robbed a bank. So did they? The real reason I clicked that is because I'm curious if, like, I gotta know if this is I gotta know if they found him, like, through, like, his, like, Google sent him a call. Hey guys, someone just Googled how to rob the bank down the street from you. No, it might not be totally random. Could be nothing, but you know, maybe you guys want to check it out. All right, word, cool. Just wanted to give you a heads up. All right. Later. But anyway, so let's see. After an interview, deputies found him in the hotel. In an interview, detectives said that Johnson told them he was in need of money and searched on Google how to rob a bank. Oh my god. He stole an undisclosed amount of money. What a fucking... I bet you... can you imagine if, like, nothing happens from this? I bet you he had no idea. Well, maybe the Google thing showed it up. But, you know, like, well, actually, all right, so NSA, I'm not Googling because I'm not Googling how to rob a bank because I want to rob it. I'm Googling how to rob a bank because I want to know if it tells you about the packets. Rob a bank. Because, like, yeah, how to rob a bank. All right, here we go. So what do you think he looked at? I think he probably looked at this first one. How to rob a bank and 10 tips. I wonder if he watched that movie. All right, water culture, rob a bank. Let's see. So, dude, he says, oh, that's right. I was there when he I was here while he was doing this AMA, dude. Yeah, he would literally just like come up and just be like, hey, put the money in the thing, and he'd just steal like five or 6 grand at a time or something. That's all he'd do. You know, just like whatever was in the register, nothing much to do, all kinds of shit. All right. All right. So, let's not get too wrapped up in that. But yeah, so that was the first thing. Let's see, what was the other thing? Oh, so this is the other one. This is another one about fucking... So that guy, like, definitely fucking read the Reddit AMA and was like, oh, word, this is easy. I could totally do this. Oh, my God. Fucking ridiculous. All right, and then touch on this last thing. Harvey Weinstein. So, yeah, I can't imagine how much money he donated to her. Like, I can't even imagine how much money he donated to her. Let's see. So, let's see. Weinstein directly donated 22 grand. But he donated 34 grand to Hillary. And another 15 grand. So, and then, wow. So he donated about $1 million. Oh my God, get the fuck out of here, autoplay videos. Get the fuck out of my face. All right, so let's see. Oh my God, so he was one of the top contributors. Let's see, Tom and Cindy Secunda. Judy Wagner, Joan Ball, Debbie. None of these guys. I have no idea who any of those fucking people are. All right. Schumer received the most money. Booker and Obama. I don't know. I know some of those guys. I don't know all those names. Word. All right. Well, I think that's a pretty decent look on Reddit for today. I'm going to be done a little bit early because I want to head out a little bit early. So thank you for watching. Right now I'm editing YouTube videos every day. I'm getting a stockpile up because I want to have a solid month of like videos like prepared. Like, I don't want to wait too long to release them, but I definitely want to like build up a little stockpile. Because right now I'm up to 6 League of Legends highlights videos, 6, and then I've got 5 rant videos, and then I figured what I would do is I've got a couple clips from these shows here and there that we take, and we can make those into like singles and stuff, because the goal is to put up a video about you know, like half an hour or so before I stream, 15-20 minutes before I stream, and then I stream, and then people that if they watch the video, it'll be like, oh look, he's gonna be streaming. All right, so cool, that's it. Thanks for watching on YouTube or live, and we will today's Wednesday, so we'll see you tomorrow, Thursday, for our last official day during the week. But then we also do stream, you know, we're going to be working on streaming a lot more. So thanks for watching, and yeah, subscribe, like, comment.